So this is my week one uh, evaluation vlog. Um, so yeah, we so for the week commencing on Tuesday, the 23rd of April, 2019. Um, so we got separated into two groups. Excuse me. So we got split into two groups, and we got allocated a scene each. So in my group, I had Kaylee, myself, Lima, Rebecca, Dominic, Sasha, George, Megan, Roberta, and Axel. So I had the majority of the class in my group, and then we had the other group, which was Abby, Tinjun, and Jamie. So they were allocated with scene 2, and my group was allocated with scene 8. So scene 8 is based on James explaining how things is for him, really. He talks about how he's just getting beaten up for being a goth. People chasing him down and stuff like this, and everything like that. So this is a very quite significant scene. Like, to be fair, I believe the majority of the scenes, like every scene, has a high significance towards it, because it shows the journey of James, of his life, from the very beginning, how everything from the very beginning, one by one, step by step, day by day, it led to the final outcome of him committing such a serious crime, and almost doing a 10 years prison sentence for it. And yeah, so it's quite it's one of the top significant ones, really. But all of them really are significant. So it was mainly based on for everyone contributing ideas and stuff like that. We did quite a lot throughout the week, because we did that, and then on Tuesday, and we did that throughout the majority of the week, and then Friday we were just mainly recapping the scenes that we set and everything, and we also ran the prologue as well, and sort of just getting in, working out the transitions into scene 1. But yeah, overall, from my point of view, from my side, since it is the first week, but I managed to really keep my head down, and I managed to really keep my head down, contribute as much ideas as I can possibly can, making sure that it links to the theme that is being shown within a specific scene, just linking everything together, and yeah, I think my leadership skills essentially as well was something that was quite key, to be fair, in this process, because there was a lot of us and everyone was trying to speak, and and that was a bit of a problem because with such a large group of people and we don't have a set blocking for the scene, so everyone's trying to contribute ideas and everything like that, it can just get a little bit too hectic. So, you know, for me, the only way that I could resolve the issue really was that I told everyone that everyone's gonna say their ideas one by one, basically. So, because we were all sitting at the table together, and we'd, one by one, if anyone had any ideas already, that they could contribute it when it gets to their turn. And then once it's gone a full round, if anyone has another idea that's been sparked up, they just, sort of ask. Because it's just, it keeps everything very organised and everything, because that's the problem with having a large group and everyone trying to throw in ideas and stuff like that. It just gets thrown, people are talking, and sometimes you're not listening, like not everyone's listening to everyone. You can't listen to 10 people in the same time. So, it's just one by one, because then afterwards, let's say one person may give an idea, it may not necessarily work, but it could potentially, give an inspiration to someone else, and they'll be like, oh, wait, because he said that, I've come up with this idea now, and, and this was something that actually we managed to do afterwards, because everyone kind of just stopped, and everyone spoke one by one, and it was clear, and everyone was able to pitch their ideas, and then from there, we were able to start discussing one by, together as a group. We were all able to discuss and create a solid blocking, and where it incorporates everyone's ideas, because at the end of the day, it's not a one-man show, it's not a one-woman show, it's a group piece. It's the final major project, and it's important to really make sure that we take small details into consideration and really be clear and thorough about things, because essentially, we should be working at uni level now, since some of us will be going to university. So this is something that I definitely, sort of focused on, essentially. Originally as well, for me, for this week, it was slightly difficult, because everyone's trying to, get all ideas out, trying to get on with the scenes and stuff like that, but essentially we only just got given our roles, and I don't think anyone has a really deep understanding of their roles, and I know that I don't, essentially, because I just got given it, and I haven't done the thorough research on it yet, and I would like to sort of have a moment to sit down and just read the script, mainly the sections of my scenes of me being a bully, and just sort of looking at the way that I act, the way that I talk, because all of those things will just all those things I'll start including like Stanislavski's techniques, like the magic if, all that kind of stuff, putting myself in my character's shoes, and whatever happens in the scene, if I was a bully, what would I do? If I was a bully, what would I do in this scene? What would I personally do? How would I act? How would I say this line? All these kind of things, and this is what I wanted to do, and this is something that was needed to do, so that's something I will be doing in my own free time this weekend. I will be definitely doing a thorough research on you know, my character, and just sort of using past techniques that I've used, um, and allow myself to sort of like really be thorough and deep with my character. Do you know what I mean? So that's something I definitely want to do. Um, One other problem was there was a lot of people who were absent during this week, and this did cause a huge issue because, some people were in one day and they got put into one scene, and we're trying to recap or try to finish off blocking the scene or anything like that, but we can't because someone's missing, and people are still trying to get used to their own lines, and we're still trying to work out who's saying what. So it's not like anyone can just cover for them or anything like that. It just slows down the process so much. Luckily for some people, we didn't just set one set of cast. We also did understudies as well. So there was some people who, for example, Jamie, he was playing the dad, but he's an understudy, James. We had, for example, Abby, she played the mum, but we had Megan as an understudy mum as well. So, it was all of these little things. Luckily, we did have that, so some of the understudies were in it, so it did allow us to continue on slightly, but the only problem was that the understudy would have to take a moment with the original person who's doing that role, take them off to the side whenever they come back, and fill them in what they've missed. And essentially, it's a bit of a problem because that understudy is still trying to learn their original part. So, they're learning the original and they're also learning the understudy role. Do you know what I mean? So that did cause a lot of difficulties because of that, it caused a lot of like time management problems. It was just things like this. It just links on and it brings other things along, because then after, like I said before, we end up wasting time and stuff like that, and it doesn't help, essentially, because you only have 8 weeks until our performance, and then we've got 20 scenes. Well, 21 potentially, because thinking of adding an extra scene. But yeah, it's just we don't really have the time to mess around and sort of like we just don't have time to waste. It's literally as simple as that. We just don't have time to waste. We need to get things done ASAP. But it's fun. During this week actually, I learned a little bit about Berkoff's mechanical movements technique. About using every part of the body, every joint, everything. And it was quite interesting because there were certain scenes where I could see that happening, because I had one of my colleagues knew about Burkhoff's techniques, and they explained it to me and everything, and it kind of started sparking up ideas. So potentially for the upcoming week that we have, I actually might take a look into it and come up with a blocking for one of the scenes, by using Burkhoff's technique of mechanical theatre. Because essentially I feel like we are going for a very Burkhoff style of theatre, but there's still a lot of like Stanislavski style. So the idea of naturalism, and all those things. So it's something that we can play around with for sure. But yeah, but as a group, I think we all worked well together. Everyone, well, majority of the people contribute ideas. Everyone listened to each other, and hopefully if it just maintains like that, everything else will just go a lot more smoother. And we can actually block everything in a couple of weeks, so we have a good, at least 2-3 weeks, and of just polishing, working on lighting, working on props, working on costume, working on all that jazz. But yeah, so this is my week 1 evaluation. And yeah, see you next week.